Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA price projection. I do this kind of video once in a quarter. So this video is going to be very important. In this video, I will give you my estimate for NVIDIA price projections after earnings using financials, EPS, and forward PE. This analysis should be good for next 3 months. I will also provide the data validation using historical min-max actuals data. This analysis should help you make a better buy, sell, or hold decision. Now, let's get started. Starting with the financials to get an overall idea how Nvidia is doing in last few quarters. So I summarize this data into this table for last 7 quarters. I also have year over year comparison and quarter over quarter comparison for last quarter. And also I have revenue estimate for this quarter that's going to be announced on November 20th. And also I have the EPS estimate data that's going to be announced on November 20th. So looking at this data overall, you see that on each and every sector, NVIDIA has done a very good job. Revenue year over year, quarter over quarter, a positive growth, about 15% quarter over quarter, and about 122% year over year. And also you see net income, profit margin percentage, gross margin percentage, and EBITDA margin percentage. NVIDIA is showing a very good growth year over year. But in terms of quarter over quarter, you see that NVIDIA is lagging behind in the profit margin, gross margin, and EBITDA margin percentage in the last quarter. EPS, no problem, going in the right direction. Free cash flow per share overall looks good, and also debt to equity ratio is also going in the right direction because it's going down in each quarter. And for next quarter, you see that the revenue estimate is 32.81 billion. That's about 10% growth from the previous quarter. And that's not bad. And also EPS 0.74 estimate for next quarter that's going to be announced on 20th November. And we see that growth about 10% from the previous quarter. And that's also not too bad. Now let's dig into further on the EPS data. In this table, I summarize the EPS projections, EPS actuals, and percentage surprise for last 8 quarters in this table. And you see that in all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, previously in all 7 quarters, NVIDIA was able to provide a positive earnings surprise, with the exception of just 1 quarter that happened sometime in 2022. And the earning percentage overall, on average for last 4 quarters, about 11%, and that's not too bad. But the concerning point here is in each quarter in last 4 quarters, the earnings surprise percentage is going down. In the last quarter, the earnings surprise percentage was 5.6. So probably on November 20th, it will be very critical that NVIDIA earnings surprise does not go down below 5%. And also I have the EPS projections data for next 4 quarters. And if you compare the earnings growth from here to here, meaning total in next 4 quarters, you see that 29% earnings growth is expected on Nvidia till next 4 quarters. And that's also very good, much better than the industry average. Now let's take a look forward P and try to make some price projections for Nvidia. In this table, I put together the adjusted closing price for Nvidia for last 30 days and also I put the EPS forward, EPS trailing 12 months. I also calculated the P ratio with respect to trailing 12 months EPS and also P ratio with respect to forward EPS. We also call it forward P ratio. Another table I have here I captured the trailing P and the forward P for last 12 quarters, and also I calculate the median, mean, average, and the maximum forward P for last 7 quarters, excluding any outliers. And same thing for minimum, average, and maximum. The third table I have here that gives the EPS actuals, EPS projections, and the closing price on that quarter for last 12 quarters as well. And also I have captured the earnings surprise for last 12 quarters as well. And also I have min, average, max, and median earnings surprise for last 6 quarters, excluding any outliers. Now I have all the relevant data to calculate the price projections for NVIDIA. So in this table, I did the math. I came up with these min, average, and the maximum price projections for NVIDIA, and that would be valid after earnings for next 3 months. So for the minimum, my minimum value is 121.62. So I can go over the math with you. So the very first factor, I'm using the EPS forward for next 4 quarters. As you see here, the sum of G44 through J44. So that is this one. So next 4 quarters, right? And then the second factor I have here, that is R32, and that is the median value for the forward PE. And the third factor I have here, that is 1 plus R39, and that is the earnings surprise, the minimum value. In this case is 0. And the fourth factor, here I'm using 5.66% earnings surprise to factor in the price projections. Why I use 5.66% earnings surprise? Because in the last quarter, the earnings surprise amount was 5.66%. So I assume that in this quarter as well, NVIDIA should be able to provide the earnings surprise at least 5.6%. Okay, so if NVIDIA gives the earnings surprise more than this, then these mean, average, and the maximum value should go further up. And if NVIDIA gives less than 5.6% earnings surprise, then these values should accordingly go down. So similarly, I calculate the average expected price for NVIDIA, and same 4 factors I'm using here, and also for the maximum, same 4 factors I'm using here, except the fact for the average, I'm using the average forward P, that is this one, and the third factor I'm using average earnings surprise. And for the maximum, the second factor I'm using the maximum forward P, and the third factor I'm using maximum earnings surprise for last 6 quarters. So I'm hoping that Nvidia can touch about 174 in next 3 months. And remember, for this quarter, I gave you the price projections 2 months ago, and that was this min, average, and maximum. And you see that in this quarter, Nvidia touched about 150, probably 149.6. So I was very close. My maximum price projection that I did 2 months ago, not too bad, right? So I'm hoping the new price projections for next quarter, Nvidia should move between these three values. Another interesting data point I wanted to share with you. In this table, I put together the minimum and the maximum Nvidia price for that quarter. So I did it for last 4 quarters. So from 522 through 828, that earning cycle, and that was prior quarter, the minimum value NVIDIA touch was 98.6 and the maximum value NVIDIA touch was 136. And similarly, between 221 through 222, the max is 95.4 and the minimum value NVIDIA touch was 76.2. And similarly for previous two earnings cycle as well. And this earnings cycle is not completed yet, so I did not put any min and max for this earnings cycle. But this gives you a very good finding. For example, percentage increase or change for minimum value for last 3 quarters are here, and also percentage change for the maximum value I put down here. So how I calculate that? From here to here, okay, from this earning cycle to this earning cycle, we see that the minimum price for Nvidia went up about 29%. And from this earning cycle to this earning cycle, Nvidia minimum price went up about 67%. And similarly for this earning cycle, Nvidia went up 12.85%, the minimum value. And for the maximum value, I did the same math. From this earning cycle to this earning cycle, the maximum value Nvidia went up about 42%. And from here to here, the maximum value for Nvidia went up about 29%. And from here to here, Nvidia maximum value went up about 46%. So on average, the maximum value went up about 39%, and the minimum value on average went up about 36%. So this percentage change data should give you some idea that my price projection for next quarter is not too far off. So I'm expecting about 15 to 20% at least. The min and the maximum price should go up in next quarter. So this price projections is based on my understanding and assessment. Please write in the comment section if you agree or disagree with this analysis. And also, I uploaded this spreadsheet onto my Patreon account so you can access from there. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more in the next video. Take care.